I was going to put this all in one day, but then I decided I need to break this down. And it's basically, after you've been hurt, how do you trust again? After you've been abused, how do you thrive again? And I really decided I need to break it down because I want you to learn how to trust again, trust in others, and trust in also yourself, because that was a big problem of mine. I still work on is trusting myself. What if I get in a bad situation again? What if I trust the wrong people? That kind of thing. So I really need to go over what it does to the different parts of your brain so that you can give yourself more time and grace and do the things that you need to do. I've always believed the more we understand what's going on, the better we can take care of the problem. So what I want to go over is you need to understand the effects of abuse on the brain, especially over time. Most abuse happens over years. So what I'm getting ready to tell you are things that have happened to your brain over years of time. So yes, there are ways to take care of it, but it helps to understand what you're dealing with and why you're reacting this way. Okay, so for the first part, and when you experience abuse over a long period of time, it will start to affect your hippocampus. And it will actually start to shrink. Now, this is where you keep your short-term memories in until they get converted to long-term memories, okay? And if you're starting to shrink, then all these times you're thinking, why can't I remember anything? And it also affects being able to learn new things, okay? So you think of children that are going through abusive situations and their hippocampus is being starting to shrink over time. So that happens as adults too. And if you've been in an abusive relationship, especially the parts of the abuse that have to do with all the verbal, the mental, all that kind of thing. Especially you deal with this a lot with narcissists. So you can have a narcissist as a parent, or you can have a narcissist as a family member, or even your partner. So just keep these things in mind. Now you understand, well, what? No wonder I can't remember anything. I just did this or just did that. And it's so hard to learn new things. That's why. It has actually shrunk over time. And also, it will affect the prefrontal cortex. Okay, this is where we have our decision making. This is where we also have some memories there too. And it also shrinks over time if you've been abused over time. Now, this can also affect your decision making. Okay, now a lot of things are probably starting to make a little bit of sense, aren't they? Why you do the things you do and why it doesn't make any sense. And you weren't always like this. Why am I doing this now? Because it's an actual physical thing that's happening to your brain. So keep these things in mind as you're working through trying to change your life and make it where you can thrive again. This helps you so that you know that you're not just making these things up. These are actual physical things that are happening. And what happens, the result of the prefrontal cortex, is you do have a shorter attention span. You don't take care of yourself. You tend to be more depressed, and you don't do that self-care that you need to do. Okay? And you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm always going to be like that. Okay, I can take myself as an example. Okay? I am no longer like that. I have done the work. You can do the work. And so that's where the hope is. It doesn't have to stay that way. Now, the one more the part that it affects a lot is the amygdala. Now, that's your fear center. So every time you're scared or something's going to happen or it is happening, and so you're scared and anxious, it will be activated. And it will store those memories. And guess what happens in this one? It gets larger. So if after you're not in that situation again anymore, you've already got all those memories stored. So when something makes you anxious or stressed, your amygdala will bring up all those memories again. So I say all this today to let you know what you're dealing with, to give yourself grace, to understand that it's going to take time, but there are things we can do. So I wanted to bring this part first before we get into, and it's probably going to take a couple of days. So this will be our whole week. It's just going to be on trust. And the next 2 days will be on how you can start to trust again, those things that you can do. And I'm really excited about that. So go out there and have a great rest of your day.